So we have come to Tuesday of Holy Week, and I'm going to call this day Wide-Eyed Tuesday because I believe the disciples all day this Tuesday were doing something like this because it is a really intense day. There are two main things going on this day. One is the conflict with the chief priests, elders, Pharisees, Sadducees, basically everybody with power in Jerusalem. Jesus has this intense conflict with them that is coming to a boiling point on Tuesday. So Monday, Jesus had cleansed the temple. That stirred up quite a bit. And when Jesus arrives in Jerusalem, immediately they come questioning him. Where do you get this authority? Who do you think you are, essentially? So they're coming at him. And then Jesus goes into three different parables that are clearly speaking against them and pointing to the kingdom of God being given to others because these people, the religious people, the people that were often operating in hypocrisy, it's not all of them, but so many of them that were holding power were very anti-Jesus and threatened by him and not seeing him for who he really is. And Jesus is teaching in these different parables, the two sons, the tenants, and the wedding feast, that the kingdom of God is being given over to those who are broken and lowly and really desiring God. And so they were offended by that. And then, so those were kind of indirect teachings, though it was pretty clear and they picked up on it. And then you have in Matthew 22, they're trying to trap him. So 22:15 to 46 is these different groups trying to trap Jesus in his words. They're trying to look for whatever they can to destroy him. Then in Matthew 23, Jesus unloads on them. And I believe at this point, the disciples just got to be going, oh my gosh. Jesus 6 times says, but woe to you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites. That's like his repeated line. It's almost like a poem where a line keeps repeating, but it is a strong indictment against the religious leaders of the day. These are the people that the Jewish people looked up to and respected, and there is this intense conflict. And again, I believe the disciples are just going, oh my gosh, what is going to happen now? Jesus has everybody with power mad at him. Where is this headed? And so then you also see the second thing that is why I call it Wide-Eyed Tuesday is Jesus is bringing sobering news of what is to come. And so it doesn't seem like Israel's going to be overcoming Rome anytime soon from what Jesus is saying, because actually he says the temple's going to be destroyed. There's going to be wars, famines, earthquakes, hatred for Christians, lawlessness, all these different intense things are coming down. And Jesus is telling them, be ready, be ready. Be ready to overcome. Be ready to endure these times. Because it's going to be a long, hard process. And again, I think they thought, man, we're going to be reigning with him. He had told them already that he was going to the cross and that they were going to have to pick up their cross. But a lot of times it seemed like it wasn't sinking in. But I would imagine on Wide-Eyed Tuesday, it's starting to sink in. Jesus has riled up just about everybody with power. They want to kill him. We can tell they want to kill him. It seems like it's just a matter of time now. And Jesus is telling us it's going to be hard for us too. And we're going to be in for a lot of challenges in following him. This isn't going to be easy. Jesus gives 3 lessons connected to this. The lesson of the 10 virgins, the lesson of the talents, and the lesson of the sheep and goats. All 3 of them pointing to you need to be ready. You need to get ready. You need to be prepared for what's coming next. And it's pointing away from you're going to have your best life now and you're going to have all the things you want now, and pointing towards live a life of preparedness for eternity. Okay, live a life of sacrifice, of using what you have well, spending your life well in this life to prepare for his return. And so Jesus starts pointing to his coming back at a future date. And so the disciples, again, I think are going, wait a minute. Everybody hates you and you're about to die, and we now need to wait for you to come back after wars and the temple being destroyed and all these different things. This doesn't sound like it's happening next year. Like, This isn't what we thought we were signing up for. This sounds very challenging and hard. And think about all that they're processing in this moment. Think about one of the disciples going to bed on Tuesday night. I want to picture you to picture yourself being one of the disciples going to bed on Tuesday night with your eyes wide open. You can't sleep because of all that you've seen this day. All of the powers that be are wanting to destroy Jesus. And Jesus has just come at them super strong. And now he's telling you, be ready for suffering, for trials, for all this hardship. I think about Judas on Tuesday night. Maybe that was the night where he decided, what am I doing? This doesn't make any sense. I'm out. I'm not sticking around for this. And we each need to decide, are you in or are you out? Because this is Jesus. I think about this line in The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, where this one character is asking another about Aslan, the lion, who's the Christ figure. They ask, is he safe? And the other character says, no, he's not safe, but he is good. And Jesus is not safe. And he is not tame. And he is not going to make things easy for us. That is not his primary interest, is to give us a nice little happy life. And if that's what you're looking for, you need to look somewhere else. Because Jesus will challenge us into hard things. He will lead us into that. And he will put us in wide-eyed, mouth-dropping moments where we go, I'm only in this because I believe you're good. And I love you. And Jesus, I believe you're the truth, even though this is hard. And so to meditate today, what would you be thinking that night, Tuesday night, as you're going to bed, wide-eyed, mouth open, wondering, where is this headed?